Good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible. Let's start.
Yes, sir.
So, welcome to the week six, the week six of live interactive sessions of the Java Computing using Python. I'm Vikas, a PhD scholar in IDRP Space Science and Technology at IIT Delhi. Okay. This is something about me, and this the classroom code. The schedule is Tuesday 6 to 8 p.m. and the link to join the YouTube channel where all these videos are kept, and the email in case you have some query, you can write to me. Okay. So before going further, uh, if you have some questions related to this week, you can ask.
Sir, last week I told sir about that we will be discussing about one topic, sir.
Yeah, code
Yes, sir.
complexity. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that actually,
Code complexity.
yeah, that is in my mind. But this time I didn't include it because I am I was traveling a bit. That's why I didn't get time to add those topics into the slides. I'll be covering that. In fact, one more question was there, Monte Hall problem. Someone asked me to discuss
Yes,
it.
sir. Someone has raised that also.
Yeah, so these two we will discuss in the next class because I was traveling and I didn't get time to include those in the slides. That's why it's missed it.
Sir, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the next class. So, sir, can I means because of my exams, obviously.
Yes,
So will I be getting the videos as
yes, yes.
usual?
All the videos will go there.
Okay, sir. That means,
Hmm.
sir, because I have to give off 1 week because of exams, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure, not an issue. Yeah, anyone else having any doubt, problems, you can ask. Okay, so I think we can move forward. So let's come up, let's see the problem one. It says, what does this code do? Uh, and I expect you people to speak up to answer it because that is the motto of this class to have live interaction. Okay. So the first line of code is import string. So can anyone tell me what is this doing?
So this line is actually importing the package. Means this package is not given in by default in the program. So we have to bring it from some other file to the package for running this code.
Or we can specifically call this packet as a library.
Yes, sir. I missed out that word.
And then uh, anyone else who can say what is the def?
So
So this is used to define a function.
exactly,
Define
exactly.
function, right? And what is the function here? What will be the name of the function here?
Shift.
Shift. So shift will be the function. Remember in the previous class, uh, once we were discussing that in the bracket, we can have more than one arguments. Okay. And the sequence of the argument will matter. Okay. So here, first argument is word, second argument is value. So there will be two input to this function. And since there is no default value, like in case it was already given, suppose instead of if it was written value equals to 2. Okay, so what it would become is that by default it will take the value 2 even if you are not mentioning 2, even if you are not mentioning the value for value, this variable value will still run. Okay, but here nothing like that has been done. So what it what it means is that a word and value, two things are to be given to this function. Then in the next line, it is doing letters equals to string dot ASCII lowercase. So What will be this doing? Anyone, please?
Sir, converting all the letters into their lowercase values.
Okay, converting. Anyone else?
List of all.
Assigning lowercase letters to the string of lowercase letters to letters variable.
Yes, very well. So we will have starting from A, B, C, D, like that till Z. Okay, all in lowercase. And then new equals to an empty string. Fine, till here. Now, main is what is this doing? For I in range, length of word. That means whatever word is given, word will certainly be a string. Okay, so it will find the length of the word. So remember, len was uh, an attribute for this one, not attribute, sorry, a method for list, and it is also working for word for strings. So since I have discussed many times that a string can also be considered as list of all the characters in there. Okay, so that's why this len is also working here. So it is iterating to the length of the string word we are giving or the string we are giving. If word I in letters, okay. So what it is doing is that it is finding word this specific uh, word square bracket I. What is this doing? Can anyone say? We have studied about this one string slicing and string indexes last week, right? Yes, please.
So the particular words from the list. So it is going to be finding them.
Word not very clear.
Sir,
Anyone else? Yes.
sir, it will pick the value at ith position.
Value at ith position. So what it will be? Suppose we have a word computing. Okay. So how it will go? What will be the first thing that it will pick?
C.
C. Okay. So we can say it as character, right? Value is a bit confusing because value means somewhat numbers, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Item.
Yes, sir.
Item.
Yes, sir.
So otherwise, you are right. It will take one character one by one. Okay. So if it is in letters, so what is this doing? What it is checking?
Sir, it is checking if
Every individual
are
character.
present at that position.
Position. Is it checking position or what is it checking?
Presence. Okay.
The particular alphabet at the particular position.
It is checking whether it is lowercase character.
Yes, right. So it is checking if this letter is a lowercase or not. If it is lowercase, then this part is running. If it is an uppercase, then this part is running. Right. So, and what is being done here is that if it is a lowercase, we are saying index equals to letter dot index word I. So it is finding the position of letter like 0, 1, 2, 3, like that, the specific position in the alphabet, like in the sequence of alphabets. And then it is putting new equals to new plus letters index plus value divided by 26. So what is being done here?
Mm,
The character is shifted by value.
Yes, the character is being shifted by that value. And what is the value? That is what we will specify. Whatever value we are giving, it will be shifted by that value. Okay. Letters and then square bracket that. So this is a way to shift in this sequence. Like we have letters in which we have everything starting from A, B, C, like that. And why are we dividing it by 26 and taking the remainder? The advantage of this is that suppose we have something like Z and we have put the value as 4. Okay. So when we are dividing it by 26, then we will get 4. Okay. Because in that case, it will go round. Otherwise, if we are not dividing by 26, after that, it will not go further and it will give us an error. Okay. Else, new equals to new plus word I. So for capital letters, it is giving the same. Is it right? It is putting the capital letters as it is. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, which will be the correct answer?
A.
A. Yes, because that is the closest answer we have in this.
Yes, sir,
Right?
by value, sir.
Yeah, by the value. But the actual answer should be shift every small letters, right? Letter in a given word by value. That will be
Yes,
the,
so that is what is not there in the options.
yeah, that is the uh, most appropriate answer. But this is also fine. Okay. So let's try running this code. Okay. So what I am doing is that I am taking hello and putting two as the value. Okay. Oh, okay. I have to. No. Okay. So see, H is as it is. E is being shifted by 2. L is shifted by 2. And M, N. So after 2, then O is also shifted by 2. Similarly, I can write some other word. It is still shifted. And wherever it is capital, it is not being shifted. So if we write P capital, I am writing. Okay. So you see here also, is it visible to everyone, this code?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, just So this is a way you can use to code things. Okay, to create some specific code kind of. Okay, so the correct answer will be shift every letter in the given word by value. The value we will specify. And see in this case, when we are running this code, we are putting the value in the same sequence. If we put in any other sequence, it will not work. But like we were discussing earlier also, that suppose we write it something like word equals to this one. Okay. Then we can put it in any sequence. That will not matter. And then we can write Right. I think Gresma once asked this, right? That if we change the sequence, what happens?
No, no, no.
Okay. And someone, I think, asked that can we put it in different sequence? Yes, we can put, but in that case, you will have to put it like this. Okay. Like if we do it, see, it is giving the same result, even if we are following different sequence. Okay. So this is a way in which if you are not uh, willing to put in the same sequence, but this is somewhat bit, what do you say, somewhat a longer way. But just in case you don't remember the sequence, this can be the way. Okay. And this is same for any other keyword like except and also remember we give those values. Okay. And since their position is not fixed, okay, we have to go by this way one. So these are way which we can do. Okay. Now let's come to the second problem. What will be the output if the input is joy of computing? And this is the code. Okay. Again, same thing, import a string, define word, test word. So here, how many inputs will be there?
Single, sir.
Single, one input. Okay. Lower equals to string dot sk lowercase, upper equals to string dot uppercase. So what are these doing?
Sir, the first one will actually be creating all the means lowercase letters from A to Z. It will be storing at one place. Answer in uppercase. In upper, we are going to store all the capital letters from capital A to Z. Means ASCII value 65 to 90 in one line. Means inside that upper variable.
Yes. And then next line, new word. New word equals to nothing. So what it is creating?
So
Anyone,
new word
please
is
take.
actually a new variable, sir. It's just an empty variable which is used for means storing the new word which whatever we are going to work on. That's it.
So this is an empty variable. And can anyone try to answer why do we need? In fact, not only here. Before also you have seen, and no one asked why we are creating empty variables. So I expect you people know the answer. Anyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, we actually create empty variables because we means have to store it. It means we have to store the answer in another variable because we don't want to overwrite the original one. Because if we overwrite the original one, then there will be problem.
It cannot be overwritten, sir. It is immutable. Strings and lists are immutable.
Yes. But why we are creating an empty variable here?
So to store
Or
the new
anywhere?
words, sir. To store the output. Simple, sir.
Yes, but we can store anywhere like Python. In Python, we don't need to predefine. In some basic previous languages like C, they have to be defined at the beginning. There is no way that you can define anywhere, okay, in the program. But here, we are defining at the beginning. It could have been defined later also. Why here? Anyone, please try to answer it.
So make the screen full.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not able to.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Now you are able to see, Suresh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's try to find the answer. Why we are creating a variable here before this loop? And it has happened many times before this also. And no one asked. So I am expecting that you people knew. So let's
Sir,
tell.
because sir, in other programming languages like Java, sir, we are used to doing this. So sir, there is means we don't see means feel anything new in this. So sir, we didn't
But
think
but
that deep.
yeah, here we don't need. We could have defined it later also. Why here?
Sir, it's a
Anyone?
pass from
Please.
my side. It's a pass
Okay.
from my side.
Anyone else? Yeah, please pick up. It's not necessary to be correct, even if it is wrong. We are.
Sir, because we are concatenating the letters, modified letters to the new word variable.
Yes, yeah. Yes, very good. So uh, you are somewhat in right direction, but complete your answer.
Sir, new word is global variable and
Global in the sense it
uh,
is being defined inside a function.
uh,
It is
yes,
not a global variable.
but yes, and
So your
this
approach is in the right direction, but you are using the word, the
Sir,
term you
he
are
used the
using
word
is different.
concatenation. I think
Like,
he used the word concatenation, sir.
yes, con- concatenation is also there. So two things we have got. First is that this variable, both if you people try to understand, is that this variable is being used further and some things are being added to it. And if we are not defining it here, defining it somewhere inside the loop, will actually rewrite it every time. And we don't want to do that. We are keeping the word and we are adding things to it. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So, and certainly this will not be considered a global variable. But if you are considering for this loop, it is a variable that is present even before this loop exists. Okay. And this we purposefully we are doing it because we don't want to overwrite it. Because you see, in every loop, we don't want to restart it. Like CH. In this case, CH is being changed every time. Correct? In in this case, whenever this for loop runs, CH, the value of CH changes. Okay? The value of index changes. You see, index is defined somewhere inside the loop, not outside. Nowhere before this index is used. Okay. So the value of index will change every time this loop runs. Okay. Certainly, the new word will also change, but the whole term we don't want to change. We just want to add something, subtract something to it. That is why we are defining it beforehand. Otherwise, if we define somewhere here, okay, we have to modify it. Okay, we are modifying the existing one. We don't want to lose that. Okay, so sometimes it happens that in some codes, this is purposefully done to allocate space. Okay, in this case, it is not like that. Okay, in some programming languages, we need to pre-allocate the space, how much space each variable is going to use. But in this case, it is not like that. It is being done so that we don't lose the value or we don't have to rewrite the value every time. Clear or any doubt in this? I am audible.
Yes, sir. Very much audible, sir.
Okay. So now let's come to the real question here that what will be the output if the input is the joy of computing?
Sir, I can find that
Uh,
the
Yes.
so the letters are actually being shifted 2 times ahead, and the uppercase characters are being transferred 3 places ahead. And
Okay.
if the word becomes, for example, if it becomes X, then it will become Z, and if it becomes Y, then it is going to become A, small a, something like
Okay.
this. So I have
Someone
to now
else is also
compute.
trying to speak. Yeah. Yes.
Sir, by the way, answer is none of these, but the closest answer is A.
Okay. A. Why?
So because all the capital letters are shifted by 3 position, so
Mhm.
T is shifted to W, but in question we don't have the, so it should be none of these, but the closest one is A.
No, position one is W, and then O will be shifted to which value?
Oh,
Hmm. O is small, right? So it will be shifted to which value?
uh, Q.
Q. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah. Okay. And Y will be shifted to
A.
E, right? But here it is wrong. Why? I think
Sir,
I have mixed.
in the question, THE is the is not available. It's just say joy of computing.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Sir,
Just
it's that joy of computing, so sir,
yeah, yeah,
please.
yeah. I have missed that. I
Yes,
think.
that's why I said none of these.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. The question should be that.
काय झालं तू झालं का?
Okay. Now I think it is correct.
Yes, and now it's
Okay. The joy of computing. Okay. So T will be shifted to
so T
W.
will be shifted to W, sir. H
That's
will become
J.
J, E will become G. So W, J, G, that means, sir, we can strike out B and D right now. And then, sir, joy, J means KLM, capital M. Then O will be PQ, it will be Q. And then Y will be A, followed by off, means if we, small O, sir, it will be capital O, sir, I guess.
Which one?
Sir, joy of computing, sir, off,
Yes.
capital O,
Oh,
sir.
O will be capital. Yes.
Yes, sir, capital O. Then, so it will
Yeah.
become PQR, so capital R.
This
And
auto correction is quite.
yes, sir, capital R, and then, sir, F will become G, small h. Then, sir, small h, that means option A, sir. We can ignore option
Okay.
C. That means the
Okay.
answer will be option
Now I have one more question to it. What about the spaces? Space. How is it taking care
A.
of
So we are
space?
not actually working with spaces, sir.
Why is there no space between the and joy?
Sir, in we are using the else part, sir. Else new word equal to new word plus ch. Sir, if the word is not lowercase nor uppercase, then, sir, we are using the else part, and eventually whatever will be there, even if it's a dollar, then dollar will be added. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4 will be added. Like that, sir.
Yes. Yes.
I understood this one, sir.
Okay. So let's try this. The joy. See here, I have written the joy of computing and the question was okay. So this is fine.
Yes. Sir, I think there was some, means the words were different somewhat. Sir, F is capital, sir, here. Sir, in the output
In the
portion,
question. Yes.
yeah, no, sir, in the answer, sir, in the programs which you have written, sir,
Yes.
joy of computing, sir, F is in capitals. Sir, if you see that once.
Yes. And so
And,
the
sir, in
answer.
question, F is in small, sir. So
Yeah.
that's why, sir,
If you see the code also, I have written O and F both as capital. right?
Then sir, it will be option C, sir. If the code it is capital, then sir, it will be option C.
Yes. So it should be like this, right?
Yes, sir. Then it's option C for sure, sir. Because it's a capital letter, and that means F will go three places. So F will become GHI. Eventually, it will be I and not H.
Yeah. Okay. So we have confusion between A and C. Let's see. So if it was something like this, then it will be C. And if it was
Yes,
small
sir.
O capital F small, then it will be this,
Yes, sir.
right?
I understood this much, sir.
Okay. So anyone else who have doubt in this? Okay. Let's try some other words also.
No, clear, sir.
Here, right? So here changing the question itself will have effect on the result, right? So if you are putting O capital, F is small, then A is answer. And if you are keeping O and F both as capital, then C will be done. Okay. Okay. Now let's come to question 3. Which of the following is true about recursion? Uh, Everyone have heard this term recursion.
So last option, sir. Hey, last
Last
option,
option.
sir. So second option, second option, sir.
B option, recursion decreases the speed
Second
of
option.
Okay.
E.
B. And someone even Sakshi said D, right?
No, sir. No, sir. It was a mistake, sir. Decreases means I thought the last option.
Okay. Anyone else? And can you people say why it decreases the speed of the program? Because it looks like that many computations are done anyway, right? So how it decreases the speed of the program?
Sir, it's calling itself, sir. See, means it is calling itself. That's why, sir, it's becoming difficult. So, for example, if we go,
It's
means if we
difficult.
are sending someone,
Wha-
then sir, the person comes quickly. But if we send ourselves repeatedly, then sir, means it becomes complicated. Like that, sir.
So your answer is A, or
B, sir. B. Option two, sir.
then you are your explanation is exactly opposite of it. Yes, Neil, you are trying to speak.
Well, recursion
Because
also
it
decreases the speed
calls
because you have to
again and
maintain a stack.
again.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
complexity comes into play, sir.
yeah. Just a minute. Let's hear one by one. Okay. Yes, Neil, I could not hear you fully.
Recursion decreases the speed because we have to maintain a stack for the values.
And Sonia, you were also saying something.
Because it calls itself again and again, and it increases the complexity of program. That's why
So
it decreases the speed of the.
compl increasing the complexity will decrease the speed. Decrease the speed.
Yes.
Is it correct?
So
Yes, yes.
it decreases the speed because it goes inside the function again and again, and then it has to return back. So it has to perform the task 2 times. That's why it takes more time and it decreases the speed.
Okay. Pashupuleti, Ramesh, I think you are just taking something. Yeah, please. Yes, yes, I am able to hear you. Please speak. No, okay, not an issue. Uh, Anyone else?
Sir, I also said the same thing. Complexity comes into play. Though I can't explain this.
Then why are we using recursion anyway?
Sir, because it is more efficient, and sir, because we
Effi-
can understand the thing
Efficient.
easily, sir. We don't need to use a lot of variables which might create problem and confusion among in the means in the eyes of the programmer. So something like this.
Okay. Anyone else?
Because
Any other?
recursion is going to use only a single variable, or means
Okay.
very few number of variables compared to if we use iteration
So
methods, we can
using
use this.
less number of variable will have what effect?
Sir, easier in understanding, sir.
Anyone else? Expecting some more questions. Anyone?
Sir, it requires more space to store the data which has been calculated again and again,
Yes.
and then perform whatever.
But that's a disadvantage.
No, here no advantage or disadvantage is not being tested, but uh, I am saying that if it decreases the speed of the program, then why we use it?
Because it makes it more readable, more easier to
Okay,
understand
for us or for the computer?
for
For
us.
us.
For us. Then
Yes, sir. Definitely for us.
okay, so we are using it because it will make it easier for us.
To
Okay,
understand.
okay. Any other explanation? Anyone?
I have already told my parts.
Okay. So because most of you are saying it will make the program complex. Okay. Actually, recursion have less complexity. Okay. The complexity decreases. Yes, the speed of the program also decreases. Okay. And certainly, uh, it is easier for us as well as the uh, interpreter to understand. It is easier for interpreter as well as us to understand. Those are the regions that that is why recursion is used. So it is not always the speed that matters. Okay. So recursion actually decreases the speed of the program. Okay. Okay. So you want to no, this one is yeah. I kept the wrong option. Yeah, decreases the speed of the program, but complexity is also decreased. And that is why you might be seeing that if you are doing recursion many times, it will not work. There is a limitation to how many number of recursions can be done in a program because it will use a lot of memory. Okay, this one will be B, decreases the speed of the program. Okay, now let's come to some recursion questions. What will be the output of the following program? Okay,
Factorial, sir.
factorial. Okay, so how it is doing
Product of first
recursion?
n terms, sir. Product of first n
So it
terms.
is
That means a question option
first
B.
and yeah, n and n minus one. It is multiplying. And what is this doing? Line 3 and line 4. Can anyone do?
Base case.
So it is a base case, sir.
Yes. Yes. So this is the base case. And if it is not present, what will happen?
So program will go into an infinite loop because it will never
Infinite
stop.
loop. Yes. So calculating the product of first n terms or calculating
Yes, the
power of
option B,
first
sir.
n terms. B,
I
right?
say option B.
Okay. So let's see. I think I have made this program. Yeah. Okay. So if I run this and if I enter a number, say 45, okay, it's too big. Okay. And if I am putting say 10, we already know 10. Let's put
So if
3,
we put 6, it becomes 720.
3, 6. Yeah, 6 is 720. And okay, so it's working, right? So it is
Yes,
creating
it's option B.
factorial, or we can say calculating the product of first n terms, right? Now let's come to problem 5. What will be the output of the following program? Here, this one is the base case, and this is our case, okay? Normal case. What it is doing?
So it actually means it is actually taking the first digit and then sir it is means working with the rest of the elements of the array starting from the next digit. From
Array,
the next position, index
I
position.
did, is
List.
there any array
No sir, array not sir, it's list sir. I
list?
made a
So
mistake.
we are using a list as input,
Yes.
okay? And then what we are doing?
So at first we are taking the list and then sir we in the recursive case we are extracting the first element from the list and then reinitializing the list from the next element. Means if there are 10 elements in a list, then we are at first extracting the first element and then we are changing the list into 9 elements after subtracting the first element from it.
Subtracting or
Subtracting means removing, sir. Means we are slicing it
removing?
away.
Yeah. So we are slicing it away by using 1 and then colon. Okay.
Yes.
So at the end, what it will give?
So at first it is getting 10, so then 10, 9, and then we are going to get 55.
55. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Mm, okay. I have reduced here. Okay. Reduce the number of inputs. 1, 2.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Suraj.
Sir, in this program, how is it working without else?
I will say. Yeah, it is giving us. Okay, I'm putting 11 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's a single if statement, and this is a mandatory part of every program. Means if we are using, if the if condition becomes true, then the means function will return and it
See,
will be ended. And if there is if this
no
if
success.
it's not true, then it will not enter at well.
Yeah, yeah. Let me explain. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay. So what is being done here, Suraj, is that this if is see if is run. Okay. If this is true, then only line 3 will run. Okay. And even if this is not true, what should run? If it is
The
not true, then what should?
recursive case.
There is no
Line 5, sir.
else. Suraj, are you there?
Yes, sir. I
Yes,
have
yes.
no idea
You
for
asked
that.
the
I
question, right?
thought it should throw an error.
Yeah. When you are running this, it is issuing an error.
No, I haven't run it yet, but I
Okay.
think it may produce error if
Yeah.
I
See,
try to run.
let's understand this. For if case, else is not mandatory. Okay. So if we are not putting else, what is happening is that there is no else case. That means if this is not true, nothing will run. No other option will run. Okay. And even if this is true, this will run. Okay. That is like next line. Okay. So when the length is one, even in that case, it will give us this one. But what is happening is that remember that when we were like learning the function thing, function has one thing that when you put return, that function, that iteration of the function stops there one. Okay. So if we put else, then also the same thing is going to happen. But here it has been skipped because still it will give us the same output. Yeah. We can try both. Both will give us the same result. Let's try with else first. I'm putting else. Okay. And even in this case, it is giving us the same result. Let's remove 10 so that it is easier for you to see the difference. It's working same. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So even if I am putting else, so what is happening is that remember that return actually terminates that function also. It will not run anything after it. So anyway, if it is if this else is not there, even in that case, when this condition is true, that means there is only one element left. What will happen is that in that case, it will stop there itself. Then the next line is not going to run at all. Got it?
It's because we have already returned a value. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Actually, if you see at once, it should be it looks like else is compulsory. But here, else we don't need because we are not going for like any other conditions. Okay. Or in case in the previous case also, you see just before this also, this is somewhat a general way of doing in case of recursive functions. Okay, that we don't put else. We put the base function and then this base case, and then we put the return for recursion. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So the answer should be 55. Now let's come to this question. Recursive L, one single line. Okay, return L minus 1 multiplied by recursive L of L minus 1. Okay, so what will this do?
So this loop will never end.
Why?
So because there is no base case.
There is no base case,
Option
right?
A.
A.
Option B, I feel.
Okay. Anyone else?
Infinite loops.
Infinite loop. Someone says A, someone says infinite loop. In line 3, basically what is happening? Can anyone try to explain?
The last element is getting multiplied
Mhm.
to the whatever the return is from the function call, and we're calling the function with the other elements of the list
Yeah.
except the
So
last one.
Yes,
This
and
is
it is giving
exactly,
client as well.
yeah, it is exactly the opposite of the one we did before. It
Yes, sir.
was adding from the front. This is multiplying from the last. Okay, but there is no base, right? So let's see, will it work or not? Okay, yeah, I have put this. Okay, let's run this. What is happening here? List index out of range, right? There are how many errors we are encountering?
Sir, I didn't understand. So can you please repeat what you said?
This one, you see, this one runs, and then we are getting a lot of errors here. This is the output we are getting. A lot of errors we are getting here. Okay, so what is happening here? Like what error is this? Can anyone try to explain?
Sir, the index provided is not present in the list. It should be from 0 to some number, some positive number.
No, it's that is not the problem.
No.
Not, yeah, positive number is not the problem. Yeah,
Sir,
negative
recursive is
number.
not defined itself.
See, line A, it is print request. Yeah,
It is 10
yeah, it should be 10. Which one?
length.
Then where I do this line 3 and 4. I have commented them. They are not there. Okay, ignore the line 3 and 4. Okay, anyone see the last error
Sir,
first?
we are unable to calculate length, sir, because we are not using len function. We are commented that one. So
Yes.
maybe it will
So
take it as an infinite loop.
yes, it is running an infinite loop. But ideally, what should happen is that in other cases, this will keep on going, and at one point it will stop. Okay, say that it is out of bond or something. But here it is saying, if you see to the last line here, list index out of range. So where it stops is that when this whole list is empty, like after it has keep on calculating. See, in the last, it is writing return L square bracket -1. That means now also it wants to run, but the list actually itself is an empty list. Okay, from an empty list, we cannot take the last element or the first element or whatever we want. Here it stops. Okay, so what is the way to correct it? How can we correct it? We can correct it using the base case. Like we have seen that a recursive function without base case is not going to run. So if we are putting something like when the length of L is 1, we are returning the last element. And this should work fine for us. And this will give us the output we want. Fine. So
Yes, sir.
so
I get it, sir.
what will be the output here? Runs into infinite loop because here no base case is defined. So remember that we need a base case. Okay. Yes. Fine. If we had a base case, this would have worked fine. like we created later on. Clear? Or any confusion in this? Okay. So now let's come to binary search. Remember, we even did binary search in the previous class. And
Yes, sir.
let's try using recursion. Anyone remembers what is binary search?
Yes, sir.
Comparison
Binary, sir.
between two, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, a sorted array. It's actually a sorted array. Means from the first element to the last element, at first we are going to sort all the elements either in the ascending or the descending order, and then, sir, we are just going to means arrange it so that means we are going to get the element in a proper sorted manner.
Okay. So I have tried with this code. You people can come up with different codes also. Okay. So L is the list itself, what we want to from in which we want to search. Find is the term that we want to find. Start and the end. Start and end we are giving in the this one. What you say in the code itself. Yes. Yes.
Sir, why we are using start and end? We can use 0 and length of the list.
Length of this. Yes. And in fact, that we can put in this here inside the function itself, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is also a way. So we can put instead of we can remove this start and end. We can put here also. Sometimes people already know that it will occur somewhere between here. Okay, the whole list is not to be read. Okay, in that case, sometimes we need to give start and end. Okay, but yes, general in general case, or you can what you can do is that you can put start equal to
Stand of
0.
zero.
Yes, Akshay.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So you are right, sir.
Yeah, or and we can write uh, length of L, right? Can it be done?
-1, sir.
Length, yes, -1 in length.
Because sir, if we give len of L, then it will go out of bounds.
Yes. So in that case, will it be correct then, Suresh? Okay. So here you see some things are here. Return -100. Okay. -100 is something that I am giving as error. Okay. That means if it is even when this whole list is over, nothing found, give the output as -100. Okay. If it is mid, okay. So we are defining mid and integer start plus end divided by 2. Okay. And if uh, find is more than the uh, like mid position, we are going to the left side. Start and end positions are changing. And if it is on the right hand side, start and end position is changing like that. Right? So let's try this and we can try some other ways also. So what I am doing here is that I am giving the list and I am trying to find 4. Starting position is 0, ending position is 7. Because here we have 7 elements. Fine? I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see what it is giving us is -100. So why is it giving us -100?
Because sir, we searched some element, I guess, which is not in the list.
Sir, you are created
Yes, sir.
like
4 is not in the
tuple
list,
and
sir.
list are added, sir.
Yeah, Ravi Kumar, yes, please say.
Tuple and
What is
list are combined, sir.
where?
Last print binary, in that it is combination of list as well as tuple.
No, where is tuple?
You are kept something in
No, no.
no, sir. Okay, sir. List followed by element starting index and index. Okay, sir.
This is a function call. Yes, it
4 is
looks.
not in the list, sir. Simple, sir. 4 is not in the
4 is
list.
not on
That's
the
all.
list. Yes. Okay. So if we are putting, let's say 7, and let's then run this code, and you see it is giving us the index 3. Okay. So it is at index 3. We want the index to be returned, right? Or we want, if we want the position, then we will have to add mid plus 1. Okay. So anyone who thinks we can do this thing using recursion?
Yes, sir. We can definitely do this using recursion.
How? Is it
I need to analyze the code, sir. I did it in another language, but not
is
this
it
one, sir. I have
is it
to analyze
necessary
the
that
code.
everything can be done using recursion?
Not necessarily sir, everything, but we can do most of the things. Sir.
Okay. Anyone having any doubt in this?
Sir, we can write in recursive manner this one.
So how can we
Recursive
write
function.
that? How? That is what I'm asking.
First, we need
So
to
this itself is
compare
recursion.
Yeah,
x
Sachin,
equal to
let one
something
person speak.
length of start.
Yeah.
First, we
Length
need
of
to write
start.
length of length some that x equal to whatever the element we are going to find, that is equal to length of start. Then return start. Else return we need to write
Length of
-1.
start. I did. Length of start. What is that?
I mean, if only one element is there, starting index, then we need to return -1 instead of n.
Okay.
Then after that, same thing, sir. Whatever you are written from this comparison, length of mid equal to something. Base case
But
is
how come it will be recursive?
sir, I'm telling about base case. If start equal to end, then if whatever the element we are going to find equal to length of start, then we need to return start. Else we need to return minus. That is first if condition. Then in else case, whatever you are written, same thing, sir.
Okay. Okay. So for the next, yes.
Here you are written if
Yes.
length of mid equal to 5. Now that we need to define under else case, sir.
Okay. Yes,
Sir,
Suraj, you are also saying. Yes.
sir, I think it is already written in recursive manner
How?
because
Yes,
we
sir. That's what I
use
was
the
saying.
return binary 2 times here. Use the same function which we have created.
No, we are not calling the function actually.
Sir, you give me access to type the code in the chat box, sir, so that I'll type.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Suraj. Yes, please say what you are saying.
So I'm saying that are already written it in recursive manner because we have 2 times used the same function which we have just defined. So this
Yes.
is what we do in the recursion.
Yes. So recursive does not always look like what uh, we generally have seen, because here you see this function binary itself is being called here. Okay. And if we were not going to call it like this, what will happen is that we will have to actually create a very big program, and that will actually depend on the size of the this one, size of the list.
List.
Yeah. So if the list size is not defined, you would not be able to make that program without recursion. Okay, this is one case where we cannot go like iteration will be difficult to make. Okay, it will make the program very complex. Okay, in this case, since the same process has to be repeated again and again, this binary search, the same process has to be repeated again and again, finding the mid, like going to the midpoint, finding whether it is more than that or not. But here, this what is happening is that in the base case, okay, it is directly returning the value to the main program. Okay, it is not returning uh, this. It is not returning to this program. Like suppose we say we say binary one is calling binary two is calling binary three like that. But uh, in binary four we find the answer, so it will directly return to the main program. Fine. And in this case, actually, the speed of the program will also increase. It will not decrease. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That means
Any doubt?
we get the contradiction to the definition which we learnt in school
Yes.
previously.
Yes. So recursion does not always decrease the speed. It can even increase the speed. Yeah. Anyone else? Any doubt in this?
So, sir, what would be the answer for previous question we just solved?
Yes.
Is it A or
So it should be A. It increases the speed. Uh, yes, it increases the speed. It does not
It is
decrease.
option A, sir.
Yes. I was waiting for this question to come so that you are able to understand. Okay.
Okay,
Because
sir.
generally we are by seeing the program, it looks like it will decrease the speed. But there are two things in play. Yes, it will increase the use of resources. A lot of resources are being utilized, but all the operations are done at one. Okay, like when we are doing the multiplication in the previous program, multiple multiplications will have you can say they will have different cycles. Uh, we say it as clock cycles or something. I think you might not be aware of it. Generally, we see for processors, we have some frequency and these things. For mobile phones and all, we have. So this frequency defines one cycle. Okay, one cycle to run something, and for every operations like multiplication, addition, these things. For one single operation, there are specific number of cycles to utilize to run that. Okay. So when all of these are being done at one go, we don't need extra cycles, extra buffer cycles and these things. So it actually increases the speed, does not decrease speed. Okay. And the general way of this recursion function is to use this one, a base definition, base statement, return, and then return with your recursion. That is the general way. But something like this in this program, what we have done can also be utilized. Okay, clear? So let's come to problem 8. What will be the output of the following program? And now I think you people will be able to answer it. Oh, I think this I have to wonder on. Yeah. Am I audible?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yeah. So now I think the previous questions program was left. Okay.
Hello,
So
sir.
yes, yes.
So
Yes.
in our assignment quiz, sixth week quiz, the last question, 10th question, the same question has is presented there. Which of the
Mhm.
following is true about recursion? Recursion increases speed or recursion decreases? And the correct
Yes.
answer is correct answer is decreases.
Okay.
So uh, is it correct or not?
Uh, See, it totally depends on the program. Generally, in some cases it decreases, some cases it increases. But if we go for normal, like what we were seeing for the earlier normal cases, okay, it will decrease. It will decrease the speed. Okay. But in cases like here, in specific cases like here, we saw here it will increase the speed. And increasing the speed is not about because you see the number of operations ideally remains the same. Like suppose in CV. Yes, not yeah. In this program, if you see what is the length of this list,
10.
10.
10, right? 10. So how many addition operations will happen in recursive? At 0
9.
plus 9. Okay, 9 additions. Let's write its iterative form, right? So what we will do is that for elements in L, let's write sum equals to 0. Then we will write plus equals to 0, right? And at last we will return sum, right? This is
This is
the way.
the iteration, sir.
Yeah, in a normal iterative. Here, how many addition operations are occurring?
The number of elements
10,
present in
sir.
the list.
10, sir.
10 operations, right? Why? Because we are taking a sum equals to 0 as well, right? So then in this case, which one is faster?
Recursive.
Recursive is faster, right? But if you are just taking this thing, actually there is one more thing that is involved here: the storage of this, calling it every time. Okay, this calling function will take more time compared to this for loop. Okay, if we go by the number of operations, here the number of operation is decreasing, right? But the calling itself, the function calling itself will have some delay and some time, as well as creation of stack. Stack means this has to be stored in the memory, you can say. In the memory, it is being stored for some time, and that will also have some time considered there. Okay, so this will actually decrease the speed of recursion in this case. Clear? Now,
Yes.
for the second case, let's see. Okay, here, though the number of operations is almost same. Okay, like only one difference there. Now, in case of binary search, okay, suppose we have L equals to, let's say, 10 elements. Okay, and we are finding something. Okay, here we cannot define that. Okay, so, and here, can we write this using iteration? Iterative way?
Yes, sir.
How? Here, instead of this, we will write something like this whole program will,
We need to use while loop, sir.
yes, we will keep using while loop, and while loop will run how many times?
Till flag equal to 0, sir.
Yeah, we will have to define something like flag. Okay, and this flag will keep changing as many times this loop runs, right? I agreed with it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then what happens is that many extra operations are also there. And if this list was a big one, okay, say 100 elements, and it was situated somewhere very like at say something like 67th position or something like that, where to find it, it takes a lot of time. This change of flag will be extra every time. Okay, and here, uh, in case of recursion, we are not storing much. Like we are not creating a stack. We are just entering into loop, and like I said earlier also, we will return the value directly to the main program. We are not returning it to the recursions. Okay.
Sir, since you said stack, so those things, data structure, are they a part of our Joy of Computing course?
I am not talking about the stack of data structure. Stack is something memory stack. Like that is something we will have to go into the architecture of the memory, how it functions. Like it is, if we are talking about hard disk or not hard disk, specifically RAM and this thing, it looks like a table. Okay, and that is why it is generally called as stack. Okay, it will have values here stacked serially. Okay, it it is arranged serially. That is why it is called stack. Okay, we don't
Okay,
need
sir.
to go that details in this program. Otherwise, this joy of
And sir,
computing will
those
have
things are there, sir. That's a general curiosity, sir. Those data structure and those, they are a part of our syllabus, sir. In
no,
this course.
not much. Some part of it, I think, will be covered at the last.
So because I saw other NPTEL courses like those data structure and those things, which
Yeah, but
are
here
different courses.
it has to be joy, right? With
Yes,
this course is not to be made very complex. Yes,
yes, sir.
Suraj.
That's joy, sir.
Yeah,
Those are
Suraj, are
sort of,
you
sir.
getting this? Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm getting this.
I think this question Suraj asked me, what is the correct answer? So it is very much subjective, but in general, it decreases. In general, it decreases the speed. But when some special cases like this are encountered, it can even lead to increase of speed. or you can say not speed. In specific terms, we can say complexity is less. Okay.
Sir, I
So
have one more doubt.
yes, yes,
Suppose let us assume 10,000 elements are there in an array.
yes, yes.
So in that case, recursive will take more time
List,
or
list,
for loop will take
binary
less
list.
time, sir.
Sakshi, let him speak. Yes, Ravi Kumar, I didn't hear
Sir,
you.
in an array, 10,000 elements are there, sir.
Yes, yes.
So if I use for loop, it will take less time or recursive function will take less time,
Uh,
sir.
See, for recursive, you must, if you run a recursive function, you will see that if you have something very large, it is not going to run. Generally, I think there is a limitation of 512, this one, 512 recursions. I don't exactly remember the value. Okay. When you run the recursive functions, that many recursions are only allowed. Okay. A very large recursion is not allowed because that will actually fill up the whole memory, right? So in that case, you will have to go by iteration anyway.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and the constraint here is that we cannot go for many number of iterations. It not sorry, many number of recursion, one inside another. There is a limit, and the limit is uh, you can say memory waste or resource based, not time based. Okay, and in case of iteration, our memory is not covered because what happens is that the calculation occurs there itself. Okay, and the whole thing is not called again and again or not stored again and again. Like in case of recursion, what is happening is that if we have something of 10,000, okay, uh, okay, so next time, what will be the value of the list if one element is removed? Okay, and then 9998 like this, right? Is it
If we
true?
use while loop, it's okay. But if we use for loop, so that 10,000 times we need to run iterate, right, sir? But
Yes,
whereas in
iterate,
recursive,
but every time
we are
only one
doing if
element will be there.
yeah, if we'll take this binary search example, if you take recursive or while loop, we are deleting off of the elements.
Yes.
Only we are taking off the comparison. In that again we are taking off that in that way we are skipping, so it will take less time. But if we use for
But
loop, it
yes,
is wasting the time, right, sir?
yes.
And
But
memory.
there is one more thing is that till the whole recursion ends, okay, the whole list will also be there. The reduced list will also be there. Even the smaller list will be there. Okay, so in total, we are utilizing a lot more of memory compared to an iteration where when we omit the things, we omit it. We have a smaller list. Okay, because this reduced list is inside another column. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so in case of iteration, suppose you are removing one by one. What will happen is that first the list was of 10,000, then it will become 9,999, then 9,998. But when you are going for recursion, this 10,000 will also be there. Then another 9,999 will be there. Then 9,998 will also be there. So in total, if the total number of memory cells, if we are considering, though it is not like that, let's consider that one block of memory is being utilized by one element. In that case, see how many number of elements we will use, how many number of blocks we are going to use in case of recursion. That is why it is memory intensive. Memory means the space in our RAM, okay, to run the program. So it will actually fill up the whole RAM. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Memory usage is one more drawback.
Yes, memory uses, and that is why you must be seeing that mostly this is a field that many people are working on to have cheap and very fast memory. Because at present, if you go to buy like a RAM costs quite high, right? Even for 8 GB or 16 GB RAM, I think that is equivalent to the cost of a 1 TB or 2 TB hard disk, right? So that is the difference of the cost of RAM and hard disk. And the only
Yes.
advantage with RAM is that RAM is faster. Okay, and we need very fast. If we were directly using hard disk as our memory, then what would happen is that we will be running the things very, very slow. So we are using RAM to increase the speed, but again, it is costly. We cannot have 2 TB. We have, but if you check the price of something like having 2 TB of RAM, check that how much it costs. Okay.
So multimillionaires can afford that.
No, no, it's not that much, but still it is better. Okay. So let's come to our problem 8. Okay. So what will be the output of the program if length of L is less than equal to 6, return length, return the last element, and otherwise return the last element multiplied by the elements till the last, like removing the last. So what will be the output? Anyone?
So returns the product of elements from sixth index onwards.
6 index onwards. Okay. Anyone who thinks it should be 5th index onwards or 4th
1 to
index
5th, sir, I
onwards?
think.
Product of element 1 to 5th. Okay. And anyone else? If length is less than equal to 6, that means when it will be 6, what will be returned?
It will return -1, sir.
-1. That means -1 or the index -1. That means what is the value
Element at last position, sir.
at last
Element
position? So
at
that
sixth
means
position.
this, yeah, the 6th position or the 6th index, you can say, right? So 6th element is included for sure, right? 5th index is included or not? That is the problem. So let's try this. Okay. Open this. Yes. So here our uh, we are multiplying 8, like last 3 I am putting 8 and 8, 8, 8 and 8. So let's say it is giving us the multiples of 8 or 5 is included or not. Okay. So what we are getting? I am audible.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the correct answer? So the 5th element is included or not?
Sir, 8 into 8 into 8 is being printed. That means the
Yes.
fifth element is not included. So sixth element is
No.
only included.
Yes. But the
Index 5, sir. Index 5, but
index
sixth
5
element.
is good. Yes. So index 5 and in the option here, what it says, work from fifth index onwards.
That means that it's A, sir.
And sixth index onwards. Okay, so it is just a twist of words. Okay, because here the length is being used. Okay, and length and index have difference of one. Right?
Yes, sir.
Agreed, or any confusion in this?
Yes, sir. Very much agreed, sir. This word means this question itself was twisty, kind of.
Anyone else having any confusion in this? Okay, so this will return from fifth index. So this is just to remind you that actually this is this length and index have difference. So length equals to index plus 1. Okay, the last index plus 1v. There is one difference. That is why, though it looks like it will start from the, it is correct that it will start from the sixth element onward, but here we are given index, not element. So it will be fifth index onwards. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much false, sir.
Yes. Why? But we have even seen that it is, there are conditions where it can be very difficult to write, but it can be written. Like in the
Sir,
binary
but
search.
not impossible.
Yes.
But not impossible.
So, but it is not true the other way around. All iteration, all iterative functions cannot be solved recursively. Right? So the opposite
Yes.
is not true. Like all iterative functions cannot be solved recursively, but yes, all the recursive functions can be implemented iteratively, okay, or non-recursively. Clear? Okay. What will be the output of the following program? This I think we have already done. Any like non-recursively we have already done. Anyone?
Yes, sir. I'm thinking and telling, sir.
Yes. Others?
Sir, printing a triangle, sir. Starting one
Yes.
star followed by two stars, like that, three stars.
At first, sir, 10 stars, then, sir, 8 stars, then,
Two
sir,
stars up to
6
nine, sir.
stars, then 4 stars, then 2 stars, then 1 star.
Okay, so Sakshar is saying it will be something like
At first,
this.
sir, 10 stars, then, sir,
Okay, I am
it will
putting
be.
4 only for here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Ravi Kumar is saying something like this. A triangle with smaller and at the top. And both of you will have to explain. So, Ravi Kumar, why you think it should be something like this? First, only 1 star.
If number is 1,
Hmm.
then first statement will be executed, so we'll get 1 star.
Okay.
Then if
So
number
if
is 2, if number is 2, it is divisible with 2 and remainder is 0, then it will print 2 stars.
okay,
Then suppose number is 3, then remainder is not 0, so then it will goes to recursive num minus 1.
Hmm.
Then 3 minus 2, it is 2. Then 3 stars will come, sir, in that fashion.
Yes. Fine. Now, Sakshar, you explain why you think it should be the other way around.
Yes. So at first, so I can find that recursive bracket 10 is written in line number 15. That means we have already taken the function's value as 10. That means, sir, if we check whether number is equal to 1, no, it is not equal to 1. Then number mod 2 equal to 0. That means, sir, 10 when divided modulus of 10 is equal to 0. So this condition is true. And so since star is a string, that means, sir, it will be printing star 10 times. That means a star will be printed 10 times. And then sir, recursive value will change into 10 minus 1, that's 9. Then sir, again when we take 9, at that time 9 is not equal to 1, it will not get in. 9 mod 2 is not equal to 0, so it is going to the else part. And in the else part, sir, recursive bracket 9 minus 1. That means that the value of the function is becoming 8 now. And now, sir, 8 is again an even number. That's why, sir, 8 stars will be printed. 7 is an odd number, so it will skip. Again, 6 is an even number, so 6 stars will be printed. And this process will go till 2. So 2 stars will be printed. And then when 2 minus 1 will happen, that means function value is going to become 1. At that time, sir, num equal to 1, this condition is getting satisfied. So it is going to print 1 star and then get out of the program. I understood this much.
Okay. Anyone else who agrees with any one of these or have some other output?
Sir, it is reverse order only correct, sir. Why? Because I did not see the 10 last.
Yes. And the
Function
thing
10
is
I did
that,
not see.
yes, we are calling with value 10 and this value is changed. So this should be the correct one, right? Let's see whether this is correct or not. And we can do this for other values. Like I am putting 20 here. If we see, it is doing 20, 18. And one thing was still wrong. It is not decreasing by 1. See, when I am putting 20, there are only 10 lines printed, right? So it is decreasing by 2 because in the last statement you see else recursive num minus 1. It is not printing anything here. When it
Sir,
is,
it's 11 times, sir, not 10 times. So n
yes,
by 2 plus 1, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, because that last one is right. So one extra, like half plus 1. Or if I put 21 also, it will print the same.
Yes, sir.
Let's try putting 21 and still you'll
Sir,
see
it will be
this.
int of n by 2 plus 1.
Yes,
21 by 2, 21 by 2 when converted into int explicitly is 10 and 10 plus 1 is 11. So, sir, we
yes,
are somehow getting the same result.
yes. So what will happen here is that whenever it is even, then only it is printed. When it is odd, it is being skipped. Okay. And skipping is also done recursively, like it goes to the next line. And what it does is that, like after reducing 1, so it becomes even, and the next time it prints, right? So if we print, let's try 5. So only 3 lines are printed. Clear? Or any doubt in this?
Yes, sir. 5 means 5 by 2 int of 5 by 2 plus 1. That means 2 plus 1 is 3.
Yes. Fine. So
Yes, sir.
something like this it will be the. Okay. Now let's come to some programming assignments. Given a list L containing integers, write a program that creates and prints dictionary D containing all the number that occur twice or more in the list as key and their indexes of the value. Any idea how we can do this? Please speak. Don't worry if it is wrong, it is right. It does not matter. Then we can discuss. Okay. We have a list L. It will have some number 1, 2, 4, 2, 2, 9, 11, 3, 2, 9, something like that. Okay. Then we have to have a dictionary. Okay. Let's say D equals to, right? Only those numbers that are occurring twice or more. Okay. Not the singles. Like if we are saying 1, it is not, it is occurring only once. Nowhere 1 is there. Not 2, it is at 4 places. Okay. Then we have 4, it is occurring only once. Then we have 9, which is occurring twice. Okay. Then we have 11, that is occurring once. 3 occurring once. Okay. So the dictionary that is to be created should be 2. And then since it is occurring 4 times, it will be 4, comma. If it is the next will be 9, and that is occurring 2 times. Okay. So how can we create this? Hello. I'm audible. Anyone with some solution for this? Hello. Hello. I'm audible or not?
Audible, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah. So anyone with some solution for this?
Sir, need to compare the elements. First element with all the elements like that.
Yes. So how can we do that?
First element we need to compare with all the elements. If they are equal, then we need to store that element as an index, and we need to count the number appearing how many times using count function. Suppose if it is equal, then count plus something we need to write.
Okay, there is one more way. People have learnt about set, right? Set.
Yes, sir, we have.
Okay. So in set, uh, occurrences can occur only, like elements can occur only once, right? But the problem with it is that in it, the order is not maintained. Am I correct? This you have so, like seen in case of sets or not. In set, if we put set of list L, what it will do is that it will give us all the unique elements like 1, 2, 9, 4, but it can be in any sequence. That is a problem with this. 11, something like this. Okay, so we can get unique elements from it. And then we can also do comparison. But in that case, the condition that both the keys and their values should be in the same order as the given list. This might not work. So one way is to go by checking one by one and putting the count thing. So what other options can we have? One is using set but set will not have this. This condition will not be fulfilled. Any other the second option is using comparison. One is this, one is comparing and count. Any other option? Anyone? Okay. See, this is one I have tried. Okay. And creating a empty dictionary, since we have to create, right? The same thing, I'm creating a temporary one and deleting singles, okay, and then returning the t. Okay. Uh, is is this understandable?
Initially, dictionary is zero, na, so no element will be present.
No element is there. Yes.
But if L of I in D you are written, then what
Yes.
it will take, sir?
That
Initially, it
means
will be first
it
element
will
with zero, or
yeah, it will compare that if first element is present in D. Okay. If it is there, since if nothing is there, it will clearly say false. Got it? And this line 7, this anyone is able to understand?
sir, is it takes key of dictionary or value, sir? D of L of I means?
D
I
of
think key,
L of
right, sir?
I.
Key, right,
Yes.
sir? L of I
L
is
of
the
I
key.
will be key. Yes. And I is the
Index.
yeah
Index of the element in the list.
in the list. Yes. Okay. And then we are creating another list temporary. This is a complex way. I can say there are easier ways to do it. This is something I have just kept for to make it easy. Okay. So we are creating another list which is just keeping all the singles. Okay. All singles are kept. In fact, this could have easily been done using sets. Okay. We could have created set, but in that case, all the elements which were there, in fact, which are more than one also will be counted. So uh, that you will have to see how you can do in less number of puts. Okay. Then there is another question. This is very similar to the ones we have done earlier. Okay. That what ideally has to be done is that whatever is written, uh, every small letter is to be shifted by -2 position. Like earlier, we were shifting small letter by positive index as well as capital letter by positive index. In this case, it has to be shifted by negative index. So, if we, which question number it was? I think question 1, right? Yes, this one. So here, what we were doing is that we were adding +2 and adding +3 here. In that case, just -2 and -3 will be used. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we try that, I think we will get this same thing. We can try. That was question. I again forward.
Yes, sir. This is the easy one, sir. I did this.
Okay. Then, okay. Now let's come to question 3. Take a string S as an input and print palindrome if the string S is palindrome or not palindrome. So palindrome, everyone knows,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
which when reversed will also give the same. Okay.
Yes.
So what can be done here? Anyone?
Sir, at first we have to take the word and then, sir, we have to accept all the individual letters in a list. And then, sir, at first we have to, so this is one of the, at first we are doing this. And then, sir, we are finding the reverse of that list by using the reverse function. And then, sir, we are just checking if both the, from means we are running a for loop from the first element to the last element. And then we are checking whether the index of each of the elements is same or not. Means the index, for example, the original words index 0 is equal to the reverse index 0, original index 1 is equal to reverse index 1, and so on. We are just using a for loop to check from the first element to last element. If all the elements are matching, then we can say they are a palindrome. And if any one of the elements is not matching, then we can use break statement to break the loop and say that it's not a palindrome. That's
One
my
way
point.
is this. Yeah. But what if the input word is something like this?
Sir,
What will
first we
happen
need
in
to
that case?
reverse,
So
then
in
we
this case,
need
we will be
to
converting
compare
like
the
this.
length of the
Yes.
string.
Yes, Ravi Kumar, you are saying something. Hello, hello, Ravi Kumar. I was unable to hear you. Actually. Hello.
So Ravi was saying that he wanted to compare the length of the strings. Ravi was saying this.
Okay. No, something like reverse. He was saying reversing the string. This was yeah. Okay. So one more question that is very important here is that what if the person enters capital and small letters? Because we
So we
have
have to
to take care. Yes, we
convert
have
into
to
either of the
convert.
cases, and then so we can.
So ideally we can say S equals to um, input, and then we can say something like lower.
Yes, sir.
Then this whole thing we can put in strip. Why strip? Because if someone enters with spaces, we have to remove the spaces first. Okay, and then there is simple reverse function, right? Then we can reverse the whole string and compare. Simply we can say SR equals to reverse S, and if SR double equals to S, it is palindrome, if else not palindrome. Easier way than the previous one where we are counting,
Yes.
comparing the indexes one by one. Okay. Anyone else with a better idea? The same thing can be done with many ways. Okay. So there is no one fixed way. You can try many ways, but
So, but yours was the
efficiency.
easier.
Okay. So any questions still here?
Sir, now can we discuss complexity a bit?
No, that I will create the slides and I will put it properly.
Okay, sir.
I
Sir,
have,
I have one doubt, sir.
yes, yes, well,
Sir, I'm facing problem with installing, importing speech recognition modules, sir.
yes, yes. So, how you are doing on which platform you are working?
Spider, sir.
Spider. Okay. So, when you are going to do that, what is it showing?
No module, sir. When I'm trying to import speech underscore recognition, it is saying that no module speech recognition,
Okay.
sir.
So, in that case, that speech recognition module have to be installed. Like we are discussed earlier also, uh, basic library is there. Some libraries are present in our Spider package itself, but there are some libraries which are not present even in Spider package. Okay, so you can either you just search on that this module whatever you are using, the speech recognition one, and you will have to install it. Either you can use pip or conda, whatever code works. Fine, it will work because you will have to first install. Either you can download and install, or you can directly use the command line to install it.
Sir, I tried with that pip, sir, but it is saying some errors. Sir. Something string.py doesn't have ASCII lowercase, ASCII uppercase.
Okay,
It
then
is
it's
opening some other file and it is saying errors, sir.
then that file have to be installed also. This is one problem we generally face is that dependencies have also to be installed. Like one library, what you are installing might be using two, three more other libraries which are not installed. Okay, so you'll have to install one by one. Okay, and then you can do. Or such packages are also directly available. If you search, you will get them. Right? Speech recognition, right? Let me. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm here, sir.
Yeah. It's a install pip install speech recognition, right? This one. Let me share. Okay.
Sir, actually, before pip, we have to write one or two more words. Sir, there was something py hyphen, and then sir, we are writing that speech recognition.
It's not like that. I think it will work. Just okay. So this one you are trying. David Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you try to install use this, what it showed?
I'll tell you, sir, that error. So it is
Okay.
showing that no module named speech underscore recognition, sir. I did not use this one, sir.
Okay.
So
Try using
here
this.
I have speech underscore recognition. S is small and R is also small.
Okay. Try using this one. Okay.
Okay, sir,
Uh,
I'll see.
or
And
what you can do is that you can go to download files and
okay,
then
sir.
download this and directly install. Okay. This will
Okay.
also work.
I tried like this also, sir.
Okay. Okay. Then that library might have some issue. Okay. They might not be giving all the dependencies. Okay. Or you can, if you are like, if you are not sure which to choose, like all the details are given there. Okay. Click on this install package. Okay. And the details will be given, right? How to do
Similarly,
all.
same, sir, in case of GM plot for GPS model also, I got same error.
Okay. Uh, what we can do is that something like you see here, uh, you are on Spider, right? So that uses Windows only, right? So like Python versions, the command line. Okay, you can try this. Pip, check the version
Yes,
of
sir.
pip.
That only sir I was saying, sir.
Yeah,
Py hyphen m, then pip install, and then remaining, sir.
yeah. And what happens is that sometimes by mistake two, three pip the versions are also installed. In that case also there can be a problem. Okay. So in that case, what will happen is that it will not be using any pip. So that can be one of the problems also. Got it? Try again, and even after that, if you are not able to, what we will do is that in the next class at the beginning, we can check this. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we will check what is the problem. First, try with 2, 3 more options and try reading those library dependencies and these things, and then you will get it. Okay. Okay. So that's all for today. See you all in the next class.
Thank you, sir. It was an informative class, but unfortunately, I'm missing next week due to exams.
Nothing. Okay. See you all.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.